Hey guys, I'm Kate, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about something that I've really been struggling with, and that is knowing when to quit. When do I give up on this draft? When do I give up on this story? And I just... oh, the struggle. I'm talking about this now rather than in November, and if you've come from my NaNoWriMo videos, I want to make it very, very clear that I am not talking about your first draft that you just wrote, or your zero draft, or whatever you want to call it. Those are not the drafts I'm talking about giving up on. Don't do it. Don't. I want to make that very, very clear because your story is worthwhile, it is worth telling. I don't want you to be disheartened by this conversation because there is some good news at the end of it. So anyways, this is not about your first draft. This is not about your NaNoWriMo zero draft. This is not for any of it. This is actually about a story that I was on the third or fourth draft of. I'm talking about a story that you've spent time editing and revising, but you can still just feel it in your little writer bones that it is not getting there and there's no market for it. And at this point, you've gotten even further in other drafts of different stories, and it's just that this one, it's time. The time has come. And the story I'm talking about, I've actually mentioned on this channel a whole bunch before, and this sucks. I've talked about my edits, and I've talked about my revisions, and I've talked about the beta readers and their feedback and how to get more feedback, and I'm giving up. That's it. That is what is happening. It actually feels pretty good to say that out loud because I've been struggling with the idea for a while now. I've been wrestling over it because the idea of giving up on a story that you've spent so much time on it's excruciating, and yet right now it is so freeing to admit to myself that this story isn't where it needs to be, and I currently am not the person to be able to get it where it needs to be. I can't do it, and that's okay. I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the story, but it is all right to give up on the draft, as long as you don't give up on the craft of writing. I'm so sorry. This guy, this beauty. This is actually the first draft. I have 2 more versions of this. This is the first story that I ever got beta readers on. It's the first story that I ever received full manuscript feedback on. It was the first one to have perfectly interwoven subplots and the mystery and the suspense, and it was my first. You never forget your first. But the good news is that that story taught me so much. So much about how to craft a novel and how to edit and the practice that it takes to do daily revisions and all sorts of other stuff and how to interweave those subplots I talked about, and I've learned so much from it, and I've taken that knowledge and transferred it over into 2 other different stories that I think that feel right. That's the thing. How do you know? How do you know when to quit? And I can just tell. And I didn't know that I was ever going to get to that. It took me so long to accept that that's what this feeling was. And it's made all the much easier by the fact that I do have 2 other stories that are farther along. And I think that's going to be the main lesson, is just to keep writing. So even if this happens to you, even if you're on the 3rd or 4th draft of something and it's just not working, keep writing. Find another project. That's also NaNoWriMo advice generally. If you've written 1 draft, go ahead and find another one. Go with another story. Why not? That's why if you're constantly working on different stories, if you have problems like this where one just ain't gonna do it, you got another one, or another 10, or 100. So if any of you guys have ideas on a proper burial ceremony, the little graveyard that I can take this guy to for stories that will never come to fruition, let me know. He deserves it. I don't know if this video was a rant or just asking you guys if you felt the same, but please comment down below and let me know if I'm not alone. And if this has happened to you, what you did, or any success stories where you let it breathe for however long, came back to it, and you magically knew how to fix all of the problems. And please let me know what you're currently working on. Are you multiple drafts through a story? Are you starting a new story? I would love to hear about it. But for now, I'm gonna get back to the new stories that this guy taught me how to write. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all very soon with a new video. Bye.